I'm back with the part 2 of the challenge where I am trying to grow a real $5,000 account to $10,000. If you haven't seen part 1, the one I posted last week, that's where I started this journey, and I already managed to take the account from $5,000 to $6,340 in one single week. After those results, I'm really curious to see how the markets will move this week, and if I manage to hit that $10,000 target, I'll be doing a giveaway, 2 prop firm accounts that you guys can win. That being said, it is lunchtime now. I'll grab something to eat, and once the New York Stock Exchange will open, I'll get back at you guys with an update. And I've just ended the first day of this brand new week, and it was a boring one. I didn't take any setups. Before going over the charts, I want to quickly show you guys the balance. So you can see that it's at $6,342. Let me show you the settings as well so you can see that it's a real account, and then the balance once again. So today I had 3 potentials on US30, USHEF, and GJ. On GJ, only 1 hour, price liquidated this valid high over here. It gave a beautiful H1 sweep confluence, but on the 5 minute, it didn't give me the aggressive shift. Therefore, there was nothing I could enter on. Moving forward on USD CHF, only 1 hour, it liquidated this low over here, gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it, but on the 5 minute, the volume wasn't there. Okay, we can see that the volume just wasn't there. No market structure shift, no aggressive move towards the upside. Therefore, there was nothing I could enter on. So it was only a potential. And lastly, on US30, here the volume was a bit better. On the 1 hour, we had this valid high, this valid low that was liquidated. Price gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it. But again, on the 5 minute, this time the volume was pretty good, especially in the beginning of the session, but the structure didn't help me. Okay, the structure didn't help at all. It was just an aggressive push, a linear push towards the upside, no pullback, no second leg, no aggressive shift, and therefore, again, I couldn't enter on this potential. Days like this teach an important lesson. Okay, it's very, very important to understand that days like this are and will always be part of the game, days with low volume. And it's extremely important in days like this to respect your plan, respect your strategy, and not enter the markets just for the sake of being in a trade. Trust me, I see so many traders that still fall for this. Okay, they have a profitable system, a profitable edge, but as soon as they get a low volume day, because of their expectations to have at least 1, 2, or 3 trades during a day, they enter the markets, they enter setups that aren't there, setups that aren't a plus. You need to understand that tomorrow is a brand new day where you could have 1 opportunity, 2, or even 3 new opportunities. So that's why I always stress about this. Stick to your plan and understand that this is how trading works. Trading is boring at the end of the day, and there will always be every now and then days like this with low volume. And yeah, that was it for today. I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, so Tuesday is over as well, and this was another boring day in the markets. Unfortunately, a day where I wasn't able to take any setups. The volume was again very low. I expected the volume to be a lot better than yesterday, but it was literally the same story for some reason. But let me talk with you guys about the opportunities. So on Nasdaq, price liquidated this very low. It entered this H1 PVG and then this H1 demand as well. Because of that, on the 5 minute, I was waiting for a bullish shift that, as we can see, never came. Let me delete everything. Next up, we have GJ. On GJ, on the 1 hour, price liquidated this high here. Initially, it had a beautiful H1 sweep confluence, but then we can see that it closed above it and it basically invalidated that confluence, and therefore we had nothing on it. Next up, on GBP/USD, price liquidated this valid high over here. It had a beautiful H1 sweep confluence, a 4 hour PVG confluence as well. Therefore, on the 5 minute, I was waiting for a bearish shift, but again, the bearish shift never came. Therefore, I had no setup over here either. On US30, price liquidated this low. I was waiting to see whether it's going to give me a beautiful H1 sweep or not, but it didn't, and therefore no opportunity over here either. On USHEF, price stayed in between for the whole entire session. Same story for Euro USD as well. And on gold, price arrived at a new all-time high right here. And when I saw it at an all-time high, I knew that I most likely won't touch gold today. And yeah, this was pretty much it for today. Again, nothing I can do about it. It's part of the game. Most important is that I was able to respect my plan, and that's what I always stress about, okay? A good day doesn't mean a day where you necessarily had a trade or you had a TP. No, a good day is a day where you were able to respect the plan. Because if you had a day with no trades, but you were able to respect the plan, that's a good day. However, if you had a day where you didn't respect your plan and you entered a trade because of FOMO, because you wanted to be in a setup and not have a no trading day, and let's say the trade hits your TP, even though it's a profitable day, that right there is not a good day. That's a bad day. Because thing is, if you continue to do that and take setups randomly just to enter the markets and feel like that you're trading and feel the adrenaline, over a longer period of time, you'll have a lot more to lose than to win. Okay, that's why I always and I will always stress about this. All right. And on that note, I will see you guys tomorrow. It is Wednesday now. It is almost 6:30 p.m. my time, and I just had an opportunity here on GBP/USD that unfortunately became invalid. Real quick, I want to show you guys that the balance is still there, $6,342. Let me show you the settings. Let me show you the balance once again, okay? So over here, why did this setup became invalid? So on the 1 hour, first things first, I want to show you that it looked pretty good. So it had this valid low, this valid high, price liquidated the high and gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it. Besides that, it reacted beautifully to this H1 VVG. And on the 5 minute, I then went and I waited for the aggressive shift. I also had this 5 minute liquidation. The aggressive shift came in right here, looking very good indeed. This is probably the pair with the biggest volume today, and you'll see exactly why I say that. But due to the fact that this move was so linear without a pullback, it already printed 4 VVGs, this setup became invalid. Initially, I had the sell limit here on the second VVG, but now since it went this low, it became invalid. Besides this, I just avoided a loss on NASDAQ. So over here on the 1 hour, we had this valid high, this valid low, price liquidated the high, and it entered this H1 plus H4 supply. Because of that, on the 5 minute, I waited for a bearish shift that came in right here. But because this VVG was so tiny, I decided to not take this setup, and it was the right decision, okay? Because we literally just avoided a loss over here. And besides that, unfortunately, everything else seems to be pretty slow. US 30 is in between. Yes, it liquidated this valid low over here, but because there were no higher time frame confluences, I looked left and I identified this new low here. On GJ, the price action is pretty clear, valid low, valid high, but look at the volume, okay? Price is barely doing anything. Same story on USHF, same story on Eurodollar, and on gold, price is at an all-time high. It crossed $4,000, pretty impressive. So yeah, I won't touch gold today at all. And yeah, that being said, again, a pretty slow day, pretty boring day today as well. A bit better, I would say, than yesterday in terms of volume, but still not where we want it to be. But again, I prefer days like this a lot more than having a day where I FOMO and I take a trade that isn't there. And this year I was able to do that perfectly because I was able to stay disciplined in every single situation, and all the trades I took were only setups that were according to my strategy, and I will continue to do that because I understand that it's normal. And it's only a matter of time till the volume will be back in the markets and we'll potentially have 1, 2, or even 3 opportunities in one single day. Okay, so yeah, on that note, I'll get back to you guys soon. And I am done trading for today. Unfortunately, another day with no setups. I think it's literally the first time this year when I have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 3 days in a row with no day trading setup. Pretty weird, but that's the situation. There's nothing we can do about it. At least we were able to avoid this loss here on NASDAQ. GU just went towards the downside, very one-sided, very linear, nothing we can do about it. USHF liquidated the high towards the end of the session. Now it's too late for me to look for a bearish shift. Same story on Eurodollar, it liquidated the low, but now it's too late. And besides, everything else stayed in between. So US 30 stayed in between. GJ also in between. I'm pretty mad at GJ because lately it hasn't been moving well. And gold is at a new all-time high. Okay, so yeah, another day in the markets. I know it's a very boring week so far, but we still have tomorrow and Friday left. Maybe we'll have some opportunities, hopefully. And yeah, once again, I'm happy with the progress so far on the accounts, knowing that it's only been 2 weeks. It's a good progress. Thankfully, we were able to make some good progress in the previous week. But yeah, still 2 days left out of this week. Let's keep our hopes high still, and we'll see how it goes. It is Thursday now, and the volume is definitely looking better, but I was a bit unlucky. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So this setup here on US 30, let's go on the 1 hour. We had this valid high, this valid low. The low was liquidated and price gave a beautiful H1 sweep on the low. Besides that, we also had this head and shoulders pattern. Okay, left shoulder, head, and right shoulder. I will quickly delete them now to have the chart clean. And then on the 5 minute, I was waiting for a bullish shift. And the bullish shift, check it out, came in right here, right before the stock exchange opened. The bullish shift came in right here. Very good looking VVG. The entry would have been something like this, entry there with the stop loss below the low, and then of course targeting the good old 2RR. And it literally triggered 2 minutes before the stock exchange has opened. Okay, and in the next minute it smashed the TP. It would have been a instant TP. Let me go on the 1 minute to show you guys clearly. Right here it tapped the VVG 2 minutes before the stock exchange has opened, and then it went straight to the upside and would have smashed the TP here. So yeah, a bit unfortunate, a bit unlucky. If this one would have triggered 3 minutes later, I would have taken it and I would have had a beautiful TP, a beautiful snipe, but it's all good. Nothing we can do about it. Next up on GJ, we have this valid high, this valid low that was liquidated. And over here, we might have a beautiful H1 sweep confluence. Most likely in 10 minutes, we'll find out if this H1 candle will close like this. Besides that, price is reacting to this H1 plus H4 plus daily fair value gap, which is great. And now on the 5 minute, I am waiting for a bullish shift. Next up on NASDAQ, on the 1 hour, we have this high, this low, the low was liquidated. And the only confluence over here could be a beautiful H1 sweep. If of course this candle will close like this, for example. And then on the 5 minute, we'll be looking for a bullish shift. On USHF, on the 1 hour, price just liquidated this high and it entered an H1 plus daily supply. Okay, let me show you the supply on the H1. It is this one here. Let me show you the supply on the daily. It is this one right here. And an H4 fair value gap, which is this one here. So very good looking confluences. Looks like we could also have the beautiful H1 sweep confluence if the H1 candle will close like this. And then on the 5 minute, of course, we need to wait for a bearish shift. But again, I like how the volume is looking so far. On euro dollar, we have this low, this high. The low was liquidated and it entered an H1 plus H4 demand. Let me show you. So we have this demand over here. Let me zoom in so you guys can see it. This one. Let me go on the 4 hour as well. So you can see the H4 demand, which is this one. I've also marked the low of the demand. And of course, depending on how this H1 candle will close, we could also have the beautiful H1 sweep confluence. And because of that, on the 5 minute, we are now waiting for a bullish shift. We also have these 5 minute liquidations, which are really good added confluences. And yeah, now we just have to wait. And besides, GBP USD is in between, valid high, valid low, price is in between, and gold is also in between. Okay, so for now, this is what we're having. I'm gonna focus on the green pairs, and of course, I'm gonna get back to you guys soon with another update. Unfortunately, another day with no setups. It is 7 p.m. I am done trading for today. And I'm a bit upset on US 30 because it gave that beautiful snipe before the stock exchange has opened, and it would have been a great winner. But it's all good. We can see that afterwards price went lower. It liquidated this major liquidity level, I would say, on the 1 hour. It also gave a beautiful H1 sweep on it, but on the 5 minute, it failed to give us a aggressive shift. Therefore, we had no setup on it. Moving forward on GBP USD, on the 1 hour, we have this valid high, this valid low over here, and price entered this H1 plus H4 demand. Let me show it to you guys. We have this H1 demand over here, this one, and the H4 demand is this one right here. So, and we can see that price is reacting to it pretty beautifully. And on the 5 minute, same story, was waiting for a bullish shift that never came. Moving forward on GJ, price liquidated this low over here and entered an H4 plus daily fair value gap. But on the 5-minute, once again, price was very one-sided, no bullish shift. On USHF, was waiting for a bearish shift that never came. Again, pretty good higher time frame confluences. Same story on euro dollar. The dollar was very strong today. Okay, we can see I was looking for a bullish shift. The higher time frame confluences were looking pretty good, but due to the fact that I had no shift, I had no opportunity either. And lastly, Nasdaq stayed in between for the whole session, and same story on gold. Okay, and yeah, that was pretty much it for today. The balance is still at $6,342. Let me show you the settings once again, just so you guys are certain that I didn't place any other setups on the account. And yeah, that's all I got for now. Like I said, I decided to document this process with the good and also with the bad to show you the reality behind trying to grow a personal account and trying to grow a account in general, right? Because that's what we need to understand as traders. That's what you guys need to understand. Something that took me a lot of time to understand is that we cannot control the markets. We cannot control how good or bad the markets will move. But what we can control is ourselves. Look at it this way. Myself from 3 years ago or 4 years ago wouldn't have been able to stay this disciplined during this week. Instead, what I would have done, I would have probably FOMO'd into trades, and that would have caused me to lose a lot of money on the account for sure. Whereas this week, yes, we didn't have any trades, but we also didn't have any unnecessary losses. And that for me is extremely important. Okay, I'm okay with ending this week on 0 profit, 0 losses, basically on break even. It's fine, it's part of the game. I would have been mad, however, if I wouldn't have been able to respect my plan. Okay, so yeah, I really hope you guys will learn something from this. And on that note, I will see you all tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow we will have an opportunity. It is Friday now, it is 5 p.m. and my only hope for now is a potential over here on Nasdaq. We also had some high impact news 8 minutes ago. Hopefully it will help with the volume. And right here on Nasdaq on the 1 hour, we have this valid high, this valid low. The high was liquidated and we can see that price confirmed a beautiful H1 sweep confluence on it. Therefore, on the 5-minute, I am now waiting for a bearish shift. We also have some 5-minute liquidations. The volume is looking good. That's what I like about Nasdaq today. But now I just need to wait for that bearish volume to see if it will kick in the market and push the price lower. Besides that, it's pretty dry. So US 30 is in between, very high, very low. The volume is pretty good, but price is in between. The structure isn't helping. And then the forex pairs, the currency pairs, the volume is pretty low in my opinion. On GU, price is in between. We have this very high, this very low. On GJ, the volume is tragic. I mean, look at this. It's barely moving. Very high, very low. Price is in between. USHF is also in between. Same story on euro dollar and same story on gold. That's why I said that for now, my only hope is here on Nasdaq. And yeah, I will keep you guys updated. And it is 7 p.m. now, and unfortunately, although I have this pending order right here, I think it will become invalid in the next 3 minutes. Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about. On the 1 hour, gold liquidated this high, entered an H4 fair value gap, reacted beautifully to it, and now it confirmed the beautiful H1 sweep confluence as well because it closed below. However, on the 5-minute, only now, right at 7 p.m, it confirmed the shift. Entry would be here, and if in 3 minutes it won't trigger the entry, then this setup will become invalid. Okay, it's unfortunate, but there's nothing we can do about it. Some big volumes entered the markets at 6 p.m. 1 hour ago, and as you can see, all the watch list is green now because we had a lot of potentials. Let me show you what I mean. But unfortunately, no trade. So on Nasdaq, on the 1 hour, price liquidated this low. It entered an H1 fair value gap plus an H4 demand, and on the 5-minute, the structure didn't help me. On US 30, on the 1 hour, price liquidated this important low and it confirmed a beautiful H1 sweep on it. However, on the 5-minute, we can see that there was no shift. On GU, we were waiting for a bearish shift. Price entered an H4 supply and it reacted beautifully to it. But again, we can see on the 5-minute that the structure didn't help me at all. On euro dollar, price liquidated the high over here and it entered an H1 plus H4 FVG, and the beautiful H1 sweep confluence was confirmed as well. However, once again on the 5-minute, the structure didn't help us. USHF price liquidated this low, entered a daily fair value gap, also confirmed the beautiful H1 sweep confluence, but again on the 5-minute, no aggressive shift. And lastly, even GJ moved. On the 1 hour, it liquidated this low, reacted beautifully to this H1 demand. We can see it closed above, so everything was looking on point now, but unfortunately it's too late. Okay, it's too late now. It's Friday, it's 7 p.m. There's no point for me to FOMO. It is what it is. No setups this week. We had a bit of tough luck as well over here on gold that it became valid right towards the end of the session. A bit of tough luck yesterday as well on US 30, where we had a perfect sniper 2 minutes before the stock exchange opened. But on and on, this is how a week can look like, and I'm pretty happy on one hand that it happened this way, because like this, due to the fact that I will end this part 2 right here, hopefully a lot of you guys will understand how trading works and how a trading week can look like. Okay, still the challenge is going good. We are still in profit. You should make sure to be subscribed to the channel to not miss out on part 3. That will be up next week. And yeah, that being said, till the next video, if you guys want to see how my journey as a trader looked like from start to the present moment, I would highly advise you to watch the video that will pop on the screen now. Until the next one, I want to wish you all the best and take care.